What's going on? What's up, the nation? It's your man C Dougie coming to you. I know we're late with the schedule reaction, but we did some deep dive intel breaking down each game, looking at players, looking at matchups. I got my guy Uncle Quan back with me. This really my ace boon coon right here, man. I appreciate Uncle Quan pulling up to the channel, helping us break down the schedule, what we like with matchups, who we're looking at, what our record prediction is. I know a lot of people have already been bringing it out since the schedule came out. Again, also shout out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Shout out to my mom, Mama Deuce. I know should be watching. Shout out to Uncle Quan's mom. Follow him on Instagram. I seen his mom. Appreciate you, Uncle Quan's mom, for making him a Panther fan. I seen he said,
Oh yeah,
man. So again, man,
oh
happy
yeah.
birthday to all the mothers out there, all to subscribers, mothers, all the women that follow me. Happy Mother's Day. If you're an aunt, cousin, whatever, you have made an impact on any boy or girl in this world. So yeah, I got the Heat jersey on. Like I said, Heat and 6. I wasn't gonna wear no Panther jersey tonight, but like I said, we're gonna get into it. This schedule is very intriguing, and what I mean by intriguing, people, is the NFL kind of set us up in a way that it's some important games and it's an important trend. We can be on the losing end. We can be on a win streak. We have some revenge games. We have some prove it games as well. With us having 2 primetime games, I know I came on here and said I was looking for 3. I fell one short. But I do like that we do have some exposure with our rookie quarterback. Shout out to Bryce Young, Icy Bryce. But Uncle Quan, go ahead and give me a few thoughts before we jump into this, man.
I actually agree with you 100%, man. The way this schedule, like in order, it is meant for us. Well, I'm not gonna say it's meant for us. I mean, there is a lot of games where we're gonna have to prove it. It's a lot of games that's gonna give us like tough environments, like back to back. So it's gonna be a challenge, man. I can definitely see us having some losing streaks, and then I can also see us having some winning streaks, man. But we're gonna get into it as we break down these games. But I agree with you 1,000%, man. It's definitely like a setup, low key, if you look at the schedule.
Yeah, low key, like I said, that's the part that really got me with this schedule. They sat here and really got us a nice schedule, but at the same time, it's more of opening up back to back. When you have NFC South rivalries, then you jump going to the West Coast from a Monday night game. That's going to be a travel issue, kind of, sort of, right there. Then you got a couple of revenge games with players and coaches that were looking at positions to be head coaches. Then you got it matched up where you have rookie quarterbacks playing against each other back-to-back weeks, another prime time, and you go into the meat of the schedule, depending on how we've done in the first half of the schedule, what we're going to do on the back end. But like I said, man, we're going to go ahead and jump into it, man. So as we see, first game is Atlanta Falcons. I will not be in the ATL. I know that's going to be a great game for Bryce Young to start out. You sit here and go against one of our rivals. I think Atlanta is the most hated rival in Carolina when you have New Orleans and you do have Tampa Bay. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. I'm not scared of Atlanta. The person that this game is really going to come down on is not going to be Bryce. It's going to be on that front 3 and our middle linebackers going against Bijan Robinson. The man is a tank. That man is built not in statue. I know we use the statue word with people's that we got from undrafted rookies, but this man is built. This man is already ready in an NFL body. You know how you have those people that need to bulk up? Yes, we think Bryce needs to bulk up right now, but that's the key matchup for me on the first game of the season. Yes, it's a back-to-back as well. You don't want to sit here and start 0-1 in the division. Then you got a Monday night game, and it's almost a die knee. You can't go 0-2 in the division. So the NFL kind of set us up. I do think we're ready for this, and I do think we can go 1-0 heading into Monday night. Tell me what you think about that matchup, Uncle Quan.
Honestly, for the first game of the season at Atlanta, man, it's gonna be a lot of tests. It's gonna be kind of game, and I don't know what to expect from this defensive line. I was hoping that we would add more pieces, you know what I'm saying, beside Brian Burns to help out, Brown. So I don't know, man. Like you said about Bijan, Bijan is going to test this defense, and not only Bijan, but Cordell Patterson too.
Correct.
They're going to be switching and rotating their running backs. They're going to be hitting us, so Ritter don't have to do too much. And then just when we come up, that overtime is going to be open. So it's going to be a test, man. And then I think we're going to see some growing pains from our rookie quarterback. He's going to have to keep his poise in his first game. It's going to be a challenge, especially going against people like Jesse Bates, you know what I'm saying, Jeff Okuda, and even AJ Terrell, who has already proven themselves in this league. So it's really going to be a question of, can we keep up? Can we establish a run game? Can we get our rookie comfortable early, man? But if I'm looking at this thing right now, I just don't see us pulling this off. I see it being a good game, but I don't know. I don't see us pulling it off for the first game, man.
So
I hope
hear
I'm
you
wrong.
saying,
I hope I'm wrong.
so I hear you already. We're gonna do a tally. You're saying 0-1.
0-1.
Okay.
Yep. Panthers start off 0-1 in Atlanta.
Well, what I think with this game, I'm not scared of Ritter. So if you think of how to match up, what would you do? You will stop the run, but you have to have the bodies to stop the run. This defense was okay when we played Atlanta, but at the same time, it's more of like you add Bijan Robinson, you still have Cal Pitts. You did ask Calais Campbell. You add Jesse Bates. You added Jeff Okuda on the defensive side. But Carolina was a quarterback short the year before. Just look at it. Whenever we had PJ Walker playing in that game thriller when we already know it shouldn't have been a penalty, Just imagine if we had a quarterback with some of those throws. That game would not be close. And then whenever they came back to the bank, what do we do? Demolished Atlanta. Not saying it's the same Falcons team, but at the same time, it's going to be a test. But you said something that our quarterback is going to have trials and tribulations. You didn't say the exact word, but you said it's going to be a learning curve for him. But look at what Frank Reich just said on Friday. They've already seen just with rookies. On tomorrow, they're going to be already lining up with ones and twos. I know Frank Reich came out and said that he will have Bryce Young sitting here starting out with the twos. But now this is where the reports are going to come out. How is he meshing up with his teammates? If day one this man comes out slinging that rock, yeah, I understand they can't hit this man, but the learning curve of this young man, they've already compared him to Peyton Manning. We know how Peyton Manning is.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you a film guru. Shout out to you for looking at that film, man. I'm not going to sit here and act like this man is going to be the savior. But at the same time, we got to give this young man credit. Look at the Joe Burrows. Look at the Trevor Lawrence. Yes, Trevor Lawrence had a longer set of time to sit here and look what he's done now. But I'm not going to give him all the praise because you still have Miles Sanders. This offensive line is a decent offensive line. Yes, we're going to have Austin Corbett out, but you have Cade Mays. You have Chandler. I can't think of his last name because I don't want to butcher
Zavala, I think.
Yeah, Allah. Yeah. So the offensive line is going to be there. You don't have to worry about Bryce Young. He's going to make mistakes. But that's where these joint practices, this preseason, and this man is not going to be scared to get hit. So for me, I think we're going to go 1-0. All that being said, CW think we're going to go 1-0. All right, go ahead and, since we talking about 1-0, Monday night, me and Uncle Quan will be in the building. Me and Uncle Quan will be in the building Monday night. I will be flying from Dallas, Texas to link up with my guy to be there on Monday night. We will be buying our tickets this week. Again, you will see CW, you will see Uncle Quan in the building Monday night for New Orleans Saints. Uncle Quan, go ahead and tell them about, JPG, where if people want to join, they can sit there and join. We have giveaways. We're actually going to help somebody not pay for the full ticket, but we're going to help you in a way that you can go ahead and get your ticket if you want to be in the door and be in the stadium on Monday night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we are doing, man, we are doing a few giveaways. Maybe going to be doing cash giveaways, of course. We do play prize picks on there. It's not just prize picks. We also doing Underdog. They got an app called Sleeper, things like that, man, where we basically are giving you guys a breakdown of advice from each pick and helping you guys optimize winning your money, man, and in the best way possible. And it's a fun way to watch sports. It's a fun way to bond with the guys. And we have Zoom meetings twice a week, so we get on there. We talk our junk, talk about sports, and we talk about these picks that we have, and we literally break it down in the best way that we can, man. So you guys want to go ahead and get into that, man, go ahead and hit us up in our DMs, hit us up in the comments below, and we can get you signed up.
Yes, sir. So Monday night, it's good to sit here and have an early game. That's all I'm going to say. Hopefully, it's not going to be an embarrassment because I remember when we played the Saints before on Monday night, I want to say that was a very low-scoring game. It was exciting in the fourth quarter when Deontay Jackson sat there and intercepted a two-point conversion, ran it back.
Yeah.
Like I said, I remember that game. I have not been to a Carolina Panthers game as an adult, but I've been as a kid, so I cannot wait to be in the building for that. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric. Like I said, the schedule was set up for us to sit here and have two back-to-back division games. I don't like it. We also get to see the matchup of Derek Carr. What would Derek Carr probably would have been with the Carolina Panthers? I'm glad with our pick with Bryce Young because we have our quarterback. We don't have to sit here and worry about, getting somebody else's quarterback. He's fresh. He's young, but he does have to transition into the NFL game. You have the Chris Olave's. Yes, you have Michael Thomas back. But one thing that I want people to pay attention to during this offseason, will Alvin Kamara be playing with the Saints? I know he sat there and had his trial, pushed back multiple times. This defense lost a lot of key players on the D end. Yes, they got Foskey and they got Brees. I think that's his name, the D lineman from Clemson. They will be young. They will help that line out. You still have I can't stand Cam Jordan. You have
I can't stand him, man.
That man is overrated. Then you sit here and have DeMario Davis still. I think he's up in age, but DeMario's a solid player. So me y'all saying that's a dub for me. Carolina Panthers will start out the season 2-0. We will sit here, be on a good jump. And this is a display of Bryce Young being under the bright lights. Yeah, you play for Alabama. Alabama gets the lights every year. I mean, you play on CBS, you get the ESPN games, you get the primetime games. But for him to start 2-0 in his young career is a great start. Even if he started 1-1, let me not say you're going to say they're going to win, but hopefully Uncle Quan would think we're going to win our home opener because it's going to be crazy there. But 2-0 is a good start, man. What you think?
Yeah, man. Fun fact, I was actually in the building in 2018 when we had that Monday night game against the Saints. It was me and my brother in there turning up, having a good time. And just watching Christian McCaffrey throw a touchdown, that was electric. The energy from a primetime game and like a regular game is just night and day. I mean, like literally, no pun intended. It was literally night and day, man. So I can't wait to be in the building. But let's get into it, man. So just like we talked about already with Bryce Young, he is a fast learner. So I believe with this game, we're going to see the true Bryce. I think Bryce is going to pick this defense apart. C-Dougie already talked about you got some guys aging up and getting older. I think he's going to run circles around Cam Jordan. If I'm being honest with you, if you look at how Bryce is able to evade pressure, his quick thinking, and just knowing where everybody is, I think you're going to see that on full display when the lights are on, man. And also, the Panthers, we have had the Saints number defensively in the last year. We swept them, obviously, and our defense came to play. I did see both games, home and away last year, and just seeing this defense in person, even the second game without Brian Burns, they played a hell of a job, and I can't wait to see that on full display. And with this being the second game of the season, I think everybody's still going to be healthy. Hopefully, everybody come out of that first game nice and healthy. So, yeah, we're going to see Horn locking up Olave. I don't think Derek Carr is enough to help out this offense against our defense. I think it's going to be a lot of mismatches all around the table. So I think we come out on top with this game. I think, again, we're going to open up that playbook for Bryce. We're going to see the first time where Bryce comes out and show us who he is, man. And this defense is also going to step up, and they're going to own the Saints tonight. So, yeah. I'm liking this one, man. It's going to be a dub.
Yes, sir. Yes,
1-1. Yep.
1-1. All right, so we're gonna speed up a little bit. Not that we're going too slow, but if you see my screen, I know it's loading up. This is where it gets kind of interesting with the schedule. And I call these next 3 games revenge games, regardless if it's revenge for us to play against another team, revenge from a former loss, or a revenge for another coach on the opposite side. The Seattle, the Vikings, and the Lions. These 3 games right here are very key into how this season can go and the optimism of our fans. Let's start with Seattle. Last year, we did play Seattle in Seattle. It was a must win for us to keep our playoff hopes alive. We sat here and had beat them 30-24 last year. It was a couple key players that did not play. Kenneth Walker II missed that game. And I don't know if the outcome would have been different, but I think we were more hungry and we needed this game to stay in the playoff race. But with the Seattle Seahawks adding Jackson Smith, Nick Book to go along with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, that is a huge matchup for our DBs. Yes, you have J.C. Horn. Yes, you will sit. Yes, you will have Deontay Jackson, hopefully, if he stays healthy. You will have Robinson. You will have Chin. You will have Xavier Woods. And then who's the other DB that we just then you have Von Bell. This matchups with our DBs against these wide receivers is a key matchup. With Geno being a comeback player of the year, Geno got his bag earlier in the offseason. Shout out to that young man through everything that he went through with the Jets. I mean, going round and round, trying to play backup for a lot of teams. But Pete Carroll believed in this man, and he's gotten his bag. He's back as their quarterback. Let's see what he does with another added weapon with Nibba being on the other side of DK Metcalf. Then to go along with a 1-2 punch, they have a running back that they just picked up in the draft out of UCLA with Zach Trebenet, the running back out of UCLA. That's a killer 1-2 punch. Another test for this run defense, Ernest Evero. But I will break this stat down. When Evero and the Denver Broncos played Seattle last year, yes, that was a revenge game for Russell Wilson, but that defense held that offense to only 253 yards, 177 passing yards, and only 76 rushing yards. That is great. Not saying that Evero will repeat that with a coaching standpoint of holding a team under 300 yards, but I think the Seattle Seahawks will have revenge on their mind. This game right here is a toss-up for me. I think with us being high, going 2-0 in our division, then it's a Monday night. You miss a day because you have to do recovery. First day of practice will be either Tuesday or Wednesday. Then you have to fly out by Thursday or Friday, get accumulated with time. This game right here would be it's going to be a great game, but that's our first loss of the season because of, I think, the recovery time and just the time travel and the matchups. Not saying that we're going to get blown out, but this will be my first loss on my side. So we'll drop from 2-0 to 2-1.
All right, man. Now with this game, it's gonna be extremely hostile, man, especially for our rookie quarterback. And it's funny, I just got done watching the Alabama and Tennessee game, and just seeing how hostile that environment was. There was a couple of times where I saw Bryce have a couple of delayed games. They had to call a couple of timeouts because that crowd was just so loud. Now, I'm hoping that's not the same result. I'm hoping that we're a little smarter, we're a little bit more prepared, especially at this level. However, Bryce still showed that grit. I mean, he had led his team down to the last second to try to get the game-winning field goal in that game. So, yeah, man, not saying that that's going to be the same way, but he is going to go against a stacked defense here, man. They got a top drafted corner out of here who's also lined up with Woolen. Jamal Adams will be healthy. Bobby Wagner will be back with the Seattle Seahawks, man. So this defense is looking a little bit scary, man. I think they're gonna bring hell to Bryce Young, especially with you got Jamal Adams who really likes to play in the box. So it's gonna be a true test. Being in a hostile environment, how will this offensive line protect Bryce, and how will we do in our run game? I mean, can we help bring the pressure off of this rookie? And then on the defensive side, we're playing a healthier offense, like you alluded to with Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker did not play last time we seen him. So
Mm-hmm.
will he be healthy in week 3? I think so. You got Lockett, who killed us last year, Metcalf, who also killed us. And not only did they it was just those two. So you add Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is also just another guy who can take the top off. And I mean, that's scary. I don't believe in our corner depth to be able to cover these guys. I just don't, man. JC Horn, you know what I'm saying? He's a dog. Dante Jackson, I love Dante Jackson, but Dante Jackson has his issues from time to time. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Will we play like a zone kind of scheme? I don't know how we're going to match up against the speed all around. I don't know. And then you got Geno Smith. He's just so calm under pressure. I mean, if you watch the film from last year when we did play them, I mean, we were all in his face and he was still making throws right on the money. So
Dots.
I don't know. Man. I don't think we come out on top with this game, but I do see it being sort of a close game. I think this could be a real back and forth affair, man.
All right. So I got you at 1 and 2.
Yep, 1 and 2.
All right. All that being said, with both of us having lost to the Seattle Seahawks, we fly back, come back to Charlotte. Adam Thielen's revenge game. With the receivers that we have, you have Terrence Marshall, you have Adam Thielen, you have DJ Chark. I will put Jonathan Mingo above Shi Smith now. With those 4 receivers, not saying Adam Thielen will be our leading receiver, but he's going to be our most reliable receiver. And he said he didn't want to leave Minnesota, but it was like Minnesota was like, your time has passed. Let's go ahead and get another receiver, where they got receiver out of USC and Addison. I have my thoughts about Addison, but this is about the Carolina Panthers. Also, Dalvin Cook, last time we played, Dalvin Cook ran ragged on our defense. And the person, again, this is another test for a 3-4 defense with a run-heavy team. If we sit here and allow Kirk Cousins to sit here and throw the whole game, we're going to win this game. But if our defense does not do well against the Falcons with B.J. Robinson, then we play Seattle and we have Kenneth Walker to go against. Now you have Dalvin Cook, and we have displayed that we cannot stop the run. It's going to be a bad game. But I don't think that, because I believe in easy defense. I do think we're going to get some more key pieces before the season starts. And Justin Jefferson and J.C. Horn is going to be a matchup that I want to see. J.C. Horn has sat here and been healthy throughout the season. And if he can be healthy, is going to be essential as well. Then a person that we have not talked about, I expect Miles Sanders to have a 100-yard rush in this game right here. This is the first time I've said this young man's name. And I do think that Miles Sanders would do well behind this offensive line throughout the whole year. But on display with Monday night, he might have a good game on Monday night. But this game right here, we come back to the bank, bounce back from a loss in Seattle, and we're 3-1, headed into another key game coming up next. What you think, Uncle Quan?
Man, we talked about revenge games. Right here is a personal revenge game. I actually went to this game as well, and it was me, my girl, and my cousin. And we went overtime. This is the first time I seen an overtime game in person. And this game was insane. And like you said, Dalvin Cook killed us last time we played them. And Adam Thielen killed us. He had over 100 yards. So just having him on our side this time, I feel a lot better. Justin Jefferson didn't have that big of a game. And knowing that J.C. Horn is going to be healthy, I'm really looking forward to that matchup, man. I cannot wait to see that matchup. Justin Jefferson is my favorite receiver in the league. And J.C. Horn is emerging as one of my favorite corners to watch, man. So I cannot wait to see that. My eyes are going to be on that matchup probably the whole entire game, man. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Horn can hold his own against Justin Jefferson. But then again, Justin Jefferson has shown you that he can play against top elite corners too. So how will that play out? Will we be able to stop the run with this 3-4 defense? And like Doug already told you, that is going to show us early on against this Falcons team and against the Seahawks team, will we be able to stop this run? Even with the Saints, man, the Saints got Alvin Kamara. If he will be playing, that's going to also show us, will we be able to stop this run when it comes to Minnesota? And I don't know. On the other side of the ball, I think our offense will continue to open up the playbook. I think you'll see this offense start to get more comfortable, develop more chemistry. And the Vikings, I don't believe in their defense, man. They just got rid of this Darius Smith. He's in Cleveland now, so I don't think there's going to be too much to worry about on that side of the ball. Um, I think we come out on top with this one, man. I do. I think we can at least win this one by a 2-possession type of game.
So I got you at 2-2.
2-2.
Yes, sir.
Undefeated at home so far, 2-0.
Oh yeah, that bank gonna be rocking. Like I
Yes,
said, I
sir.
know. Shout out to our former interim head coach. Steve Wilson's not shade at all. So I want nobody to say I'm gonna say shade. This man sat here and said, pat the bank out. And I think with Bryce Young being our quarterback, Frank Reich, the acquisitions that we had in the offseason, I do think the bank will be rocking. I mean, there is one game that we do have to worry about that, but right now the bank will be rocking with that black and blue. So now we go into our next revenge game is the Detroit Lions. I wish this was at home because my optimism would not be the way it is. But the way we beat them and the way their coach sat there and said we beat the heck out of them, and it was like no questions asked. This game right here does scare me going into Detroit. Detroit has done a lot of work this offseason. And again, we beat them 37-23 last year. The matchup for me is not the players this time. The matchup for me is Ben Johnson versus Thomas Brown and Frank Reich. And this is OC versus OC and head coach. I was an advocate for Ben Johnson to be in our head coach.
Yeah.
This man decided to stay there, and he saw what Detroit was going to have. That scares me even more. Yes, I know they lost both of their running backs, but they got Gibbs, they got Montgomery, and they replenished in that room. Yes, we have Deuce Staley. Yes, we took DJ Chark from them. But this game right here, it's not a trap because it's early. It can go either way. And if you ask me right now, just looking at their acquisitions, they have added to their back end. Their back end, they got Cameron Sutton from the Pittsburgh Steelers, Emmanuel Mosley, C.J. Gardner Johnson out of the Eagles, who everybody was after to sit there and add to their secondary. And then to add rookies Jack Campbell and Brian Branch to this defense is going to be nasty. And their D coordinator also had interviews for him to be head coach. No, he did not get it, but all their position coaches stayed, which is scary again, because why not go be a head coach? Yeah, I mean, the jobs probably weren't interesting or they didn't look as great to you, but all their position coaches left. Main position coach, we're talking OC and DC. But where we beat the Lions last year was at the line of scrimmage. Again, it's a line of scrimmage game. Will our offensive line be able to sit here and push back that D line of Detroit in the Motown? I'm not sure, but if you ask me right now, because who we follow after this game, I have us losing it right now. And I can see us winning it, but just for right now, we might have to do another schedule projection, but right now I have us losing it and we dropped to 3-2.
I'm actually have to agree with you on that one, man. It could be a toss-up, yes, but I ultimately see us losing this game, man. This is a revenge game for them. Sure, we got Deuce Daly, who knows their system. He can help us out with preparing for this game. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Lions are really going to kill us with play action in this game. I mean, yes, we beat Detroit last year, but if you
Jared
look at
Goff
Detroit's offense,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Jared Goff was picking us apart. I mean, hell. So I mean, just look at the game when you get the chance. He was picking us apart, hitting Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was hitting DJ Chark. I mean, they were making catches just phenomenal. And the tight end over there, I can't remember his name. He had 3 touchdowns on us.
Hockenson. So, are you talking about Hockenson?
No, not Hockenson wasn't there at the time. But damn, I mean, Hockenson wasn't there at the time.
I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead and talk. I got you.
Yeah, I think he was traded by that time. I can't remember the other tight end's name, but he had 3 touchdowns in that game. And they added Gibbs, man. That's Bryce Young's former Alabama teammate. and he has shown you plenty of times in Alabama that he is very much a second coming of Alvin Kamara, man. I think he's going to be great in this league. He's going to have an immediate impact, just like Bijan will, man. I think these guys will take it in the first round for a reason.
And you talking
And
about
I
Zylstra.
think
Zylstra, and if I'm
now,
not mistaken, wasn't Zylstra
yeah, it was
a
Zylstra.
part
That's
of the
right.
Carolina
Yep.
Panthers before?
No. We had a receiver as Zylstra, but he
Yeah.
was the tight end. The tight end
Yeah.
Zylstra, man, he was killing us. And I don't see us having the personnel to stop that. They're gonna set up play action. They're gonna be running pretty well with Gibbs and the other running back, man. And Jared Goff is gonna pick us apart. Yes, I believe that Bryce Young will give Detroit a run. I believe that Miles Sanders will have a good game. I think this will be a game where we see guys like Adam Thielen go off, guys like DJ Chark, especially from him coming from Detroit. I think we'll see them go off in this game. I think our skill players will step up a lot in this game, but I ultimately don't see this being a win. I think this could come down to like a winning field goal for Detroit, and I think we take the L on this one. So
In
we
this game,
are
if we
currently
my bad.
winless on the road.
Yeah, and I see that too. This game right here could be valuable and a focal point in the playoff race. I know it's early,
Yeah,
but with Detroit in their division and Carolina in our division, this game right here can be very important when it comes to if we don't win a division, the wild card. And that's the reason why this game right here is a toss-up for me, because it just depends on exactly what we do in the outcome of this game. Now, after revenge games, we go to Miami.
Ooh,
It's short and sweet for me. Before the bye, this is a loss right here. And that puts us at 3-3, which I think is great to go into the bye. We could either be 4-2, or we can be 3-3 going into the bye. Either way, if we're at 500 going into bye in week 7, we're in great shape, people. We're in great shape for our rookie quarterback, for our new coach, for our new coordinators, going either 4-2 and 3-3 into the bye week. You cannot ask for more. I will sit here and be a shocker if we beat Miami in Miami. We saw what they just did with Teddy Bridgewater being their quarterback. Or no, Teddy was our quarterback. My apologies. And then they had Tua. You saw what Jalen Waddle was able to do against Deontay Jackson. Yes, you have Tyreek Hill, but Waddle is fast, and people don't understand how fast that young man is. Then they have the fastest running back, or one of the fastest running backs, and Raheem Mostert running behind the offensive line. We're not even going to talk about the defense. Yeah, they got Jalen Ramsey. Then they got the D coordinator just went blank. He was supposed to be our D coordinator. He came from Denver. Vangio. Vangio was supposed to be our D coordinator. If you look what this man has done with defenses, this will be the game where we can see if Bryson take a hit. This will be the game when we can see if Bryce Young can take a hit. Again, I have it as a loss, short and sweet. I'm going to go ahead and pass the baton over to Uncle Quan. It's 3-3 for me. What you thinking, Uncle Quan?
Man, I 1,000% agree, man. I think the Panthers will continue road struggles. And I have here on my notes, man, this is definitely Bryce Young's welcome to the NFL game, without question. Without question, man. I mean, it's just too many pieces on that defense. I think Ramsey might get him too. I don't know. I think he might bait him into 2. Dante will continue to get cooked by Jalen Waddle. I think J.C. Horn might struggle against Tyreek Hill. It's just too much speed on this roster, and we even sleep on Chosen, aka Robbie Anderson, man. I think even he will get off with us having trouble with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. You're gonna forget about Chosen over there, who's looking to get revenge. He's probably still pissed about this.
Yeah,
man. Exactly. So I think we struggle against Miami. I think, if you ask me, I think this is a blowout. Every year we have one of those teams that just blow us out, and I think this is one of those games where we just really struggle, And this is definitely going to be Bryce's welcome to the NFL game. He's going to be sacked at least 3 to 4 times. And I don't see this being a good game at all.
All right, so that has the Carolina Panthers for Uncle Quan 2-4 heading into the bye. So right now, we've already played Atlanta. We played the Saints. We played Seattle. We played the Vikings. We played the Lions and the Dolphins. Great time to sit here and have a bye. Great time to let everyone know. If you have not subscribed to What's Up, Doug, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment for Uncle Quan as well, so we can hear what you guys had the feedback of the schedule so far. Also, shout out to Uncle Quan's experience. I will drop my guy's channel in the chat and also in the bio or in the description, so you can check him out. He already has a couple of videos up, film breakdowns. He was able to go to the draft party whenever he was there to see the reaction of the fans when we drafted Bryce Young. He also will be live throughout the season. So again, check both our channels out, subscribe to them, share them. Like I said, also shout out to JPG. We will be dropping information there as well. If you want to join it, we have giveaways coming up. We also talk sports. It's just not Panther fans. We have a Baltimore Ravens fan in there. We've been talking about Miami Heat. We have a couple Boston fans.
Celtics fans. Yep.
Yeah, Celtics fans. Hey, like I said, it's all about that Heat. We talking about them Panthers right now. It's basketball season, baby. But
I can't even come over here screaming about the Hornets, man. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Hey, like I said, hey, you know, I like LaMelo Ball, man. Like I said, that's my guy. You know, hopefully you have a good season this upcoming year, man. But now with that, let's go ahead and go to our second half, not the NFL second half, but our second half of the season after our bye. Now it is the tour of the rookie quarterbacks versus each other. And what do you mean by that, C. Dougie? First, we have the most anticipating game for most Panther fans will be C.J. Stroud coming into the bank versus Bryce Young. Then the game after that, we will talk about is Indianapolis Colts coming. But let's first jump into this October 29th game with the Houston Texans coming to Carolina, coming to the bank. This game right here should have been a primetime game.
Yeah, it should have.
I'll take what they gave us. But Houston's coming in Darius territory right now. We're coming off a bye. We're going to get healthy. And regardless of the acquisitions that Houston has done, they have done a tremendous job, even with their head coach being a first-time head coach, being a former player, DeMeco Ryans. This game right here with Houston, even though they've added great veteran leadership on this team with Robert Woods, Denzel Perryman, Devin Singletary, Cordell Littleton, Jeremy Ward, this game right here is going to be dangerous territory for Houston as a whole. I think C.J. Stroud will do great. I can't wait to see that smile. I call it a Kool-Aid smile on Bryce's face when he sees his longtime friend C.J. Stroud before the game. Because I know, camera's going to be around it. You got number one, number two. This game right here, with the pressure, and I know on both sides, is going to be very game plan. What I mean by game plan, we're going to show the reason why we didn't draft C.J. Stroud. Not saying the young man's going to struggle, but I expect heavy pressure. Heavy pressure. And let's see if he can escape. We've all talked about what C.J. Stroud can do underneath pressure. So what is that going to lead to? Can that lead to interceptions? Can that lead to not timely throws? Can that lead to not seeing the field very well? We know his numbers underneath pressure. You can pressure Bryce Young in the NFL. The NFL is different than the SEC, but this man has shown what he can do underneath pressure. Back in the bank, we go 4-3, coming off that bye. Great win to come off a bye and have the bank jumping again. We're undefeated at home. Being at home is important, and you have to win those games because that also helps whenever you want to get future games because they do have flex games at the end of the season. So with the battle of number 1 versus 2, I think Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers do win this game, and we go from the bye from 3-3 to 4-3. What you got, Uncle Quan?
Man, this is a game I'm really anticipating a lot, man. I think the Panthers come out of the bye week swinging. I think they come out swinging like crazy, man. I'm really looking forward to this game. If you guys have been following me, y'all know I was a strong advocate for CJ Stroud. However, I am extremely proud of us getting Bryce Young, man. I love both guys at the end of the day, but Bryce Young, he is the better quarterback. Especially after watching more and more film, more and more interviews, I realized closer to the draft, you know what? Bryce Young he really is him. He really is him. And I think you're going to see that on full display in this game right here. And yes, Doug told you guys that CJ Stroud might be doing good in this game. I think he will struggle. I think he will struggle against our defense. I just see this game being in our favor. The only person I see getting off this game is Mechie. I like Mechie, and he might get somewhere between 70 to 80 yards. I don't know, something cute, something light. But I think CJ Stroud will struggle. I think we're going to put the pressure on him. I don't think he's going to be able to escape. So I'm really liking this game, and I think this will work out in our favor. I think we win this by at least 2 possessions. Will Anderson will be shut down. I don't think he's going to get off against Icky or Moton on the other side, man. He's going to be shut down. I don't see him doing anything in this game. But ultimately, we just have more talent in Carolina than Houston. Just like my man Doug said, they're coming into dangerous territory. So this would definitely be an easy dub for us. But I'm still looking forward to seeing the number 1 and number 2 pick.
Yes, sir. So where I got you now, 3-4. We 3-4 now.
3-4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, along with CJ Stroud and Bryce Young being drafted, there was another quarterback that got drafted. And he goes by the name of Anthony Richardson, coming into the bank that plays for the Indianapolis Colts, Frank Reich's former employer. This is a revenge game for Frank Reich. I don't think he's a very humble man. I don't think he will get too high or too low. And I don't think he wants attention on him. When this man comes out this week, he's probably going to say he thanks Irsay for being a GM for the Colts, what he's done for him, everything that he provided. Frank Reich does not bring that arrogance of a coach that needs a spotlight on him. This is going to come with a 2-headed monster in the backfield of Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. If we see what their now head coach is able to do with Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders, our featured running back, this is going to be almost a replica of how he wants to do in Indy. Yes, the Eagles had the number 1 offensive line, number 2 in some people's mind. The Colts have always had a good offensive line. Their problem has been quarterback play and staying healthy. This game right here is going to be a toss-up, but for us, and I think those coaches that are on this coaching staff, they're going to give it that all for Frank Reich. Just like the Eagles head coach, whenever they played the Colts, this is for Frank Reich. This is what this team is going to say. They fired our coach for no reason. Let's go ahead and get what we need to do, and let's go ahead and do what we got to do. So I think we're right here. We're 5-3. Great. You beat both quarterbacks that were possible choices and possible picks for Carolina to have our future quarterback. Defensive-wise, I definitely know Anthony Richardson is a freak. And what I mean by a freak of statue and metrics. So the defense might have a problem. I do expect a 20, 24, 25 up there game. So let's go ahead and see what Anthony Richardson can do against this defense. And like I said, I have us 4-3 though, but it's going to be like a 20, 25, 28 type scoring game.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. This is going to be one of those games where if Anthony Richardson is starting, he's tested again in that run game, especially with JT back there. JT, he's become one of my favorite guys to watch back there, man. He runs with purpose. He runs with power and speed, man. It's fun to watch. But going against our defense, I think they will kill us with RPO, man. I think they'll have us playing up a lot, and I think they're going to be able to pull it back and find looks that they like. So I'm not very confident in this game. Then on the other side, that defense is going to be insane. You got DeForest Buckner, Lenore. I mean, I just think they're going to bring the pressure to Bryce. I think they're going to at least get to him 4 times at the
Okay.
least. And I don't know. I could see this being close, though. I can see Bryce showing his toughness, trying to be clutch. But I do think we fall short somewhere around the same type of score, maybe 21-24 type of game.
Okay.
And yeah, we fall short for our first home loss.
All right, so that's 3-5, first home loss. Uncle Quan, check your message real quick for me while we go to our next game, man. So now we go to the anticipating game of Thursday night, week 10. We go to Chicago Bears. And this is the game I've been waiting for. Shout out to my guy, JC. I can't wait to even jump to him all week, man. Justin Fields versus Bryce Young. DJ Moore versus the Carolina Panthers. Deontay Foreman against the Carolina Panthers. Yes, I know they had PJ Walker. I'm hoping he's not the quarterback, but, if he is, I'm going to pray for him as well. This game right here is going to be blood, sweat, and guts. Shout out to Steve Smith for saying that, man. This game right here is going to be impactful. An impactful Thursday night game. I know Chicago played, I forgot who they played on Thursday night last year. And I want to say, I can't remember. I think they were wearing orange jerseys, but the game was so shallow. It was so sluggish. It wasn't an entertaining game. As a matter of fact, it was against the Commanders. When they played the Commanders, it was not an entertaining game at all. This game right here is going to be entertaining. Steve Smith works for NFL Network. He going to already give you the juice for the pregame. He going to sit there and get you hyped. He already know what this game means for both organizations. He know what this game means personally for particular players. Yes, he loves DJ Moore. Yes, he sit there and told our coaches to bring Jonathan Mingo in to the Carolinas. I'm even worried about Bryce Young. I'm worried about J.C. Horn locking up DJ Moore. Remember the last time we sat here and played a former wide receiver and what he did to our secondary. I don't want to speak nothing of that at all. When this man was, Steve Smith torched, abused, played with his food. It was just ridiculous how our DBs played against him when he was with the Baltimore Ravens. That's the player I'm sitting here alluding to. This game right here, Deontay Foreman going to want to hit somebody. If Shaq Thomas is that middle linebacker, he going to want to hit Shaq in his you-know-what. So this game right here is going to be very entertaining. I think for the first – it depends on how our offense goes, and it depends on with Justin Fields, with him having DJ Moore now. He has Cole Kmet. He has Moody. He has Chase Claypool. He has St. Brown's brother. But having that complimentary running back with Deontay Foreman, I was really hoping this man would be a 1-2 punch for Carolina, but he did decide to sit there and go play for Chicago. Chicago's defense definitely stepped up as well. When you signed Edmonds, you signed the linebacker, the former linebacker out of the Eagles. This game right here is going to be a defensive game. But Carolina didn't lose anything on defense. We added to our defense. Again, this offense did not lose much. I respect the hell out of DJ Moore's game. But we did not sit here and lose because for what he can do as one player, we now have 3 players that can be one, and they have different traits. So with all that saying, what you trying to say, C-Dub? I'm sitting here saying on Monday night, we're going 2-0 on primetime games right now that are scheduled. That's a 5-3. I understand everybody's thinking Justin Fields just needed weapons. There's just something there for me that I do not like about his game. And if we lose this game, it doesn't hurt us. But I think the pride of Panther Nation will be hurt because then there are going to be the what ifs of why didn't we draft Justin Fields and we got J.C. Horn. But in my book, we're going 5-3. Go ahead and take it away, Uncle Quan.
All right, so I think this game is gonna shock the world. At this point in the season, I think Chicago is actually going to be doing pretty dang on good. However, I think this is where we snap our road losing streak, man. I think this is where we put on a show. I think DJ Moore is going to be shut down in this game. Yes, it's going to be a lot of hype around him. They might even scheme up a lot of plays for him to get open. But if JC Horn is healthy, I think JC Horn has his number. I really do. And I also think Justin Fields is going to be forced to throw in the pocket. This is a game. I feel like this is a game that's going to they're going to scheme up pretty well when it comes to Justin Fields and containing him in the pocket, making him have to throw with his arm instead of running with his legs. We do pretty well against mobile quarterbacks, so I'm not worried about Justin Fields. So I don't know. I see Bryson Company showing out in the primetime game. I think this could be a fun game to watch. Again, I think we will shock the world and winning by at least 10 points, man. So I think this game is in our favor. We snap our road game losing streak, and we get right back on track for this season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I got you at 4-5. Got you at 4-5. Now, this is at the point where are you at? This is at the point where now with this schedule, a lot of teams know their identity. If I have Carolina at 5-3, that either means that we're leading in our division and we're primed for playoffs. Uncle Quan has at 4-5, sitting at a good spot for a wild card. So now the tough test of this schedule is now approaching us. Now you're almost at the back end. We now, after a big time game, we have the Dallas Cowboys coming in to Bank of America Stadium. Then you have Tennessee, and we're going to talk about those two. Let's just stop right there. You have Dallas Cowboys coming in. Earlier when I said I had stated that we need to pat the bank out. We need to have that black and blue in there. America's team is going to pat their side of tickets out. If we don't buy our tickets, Uncle Quan and myself are already having a discussion. That's another game you're going to see what's up, Doug, and Uncle Quan's experience at a game. That game right there, you can think you can pack the bank out, but Cowboy fans are coming. They travel very well. And shout out to my pops. He's a Cowboys fan. I don't know how, but hey, it is what it is. People say I'm a Cowboys fan. Nah, I ain't worried about that. But this game right here is important. You playing America's team. Everybody talks about the Cowboys whenever they're not even in contention. Coming off a high game on a Thursday night, you get 2 extra days. 2 extra days because most games are going to be either on Sunday or Monday night. And let me see the Cowboys schedule real quick while I'm talking. That can be very important because if the Dallas Cowboys have a national televised game before they play the Carolina Panthers, that can be a win for us because you have to do recovery and you have to travel. No, it's not a far distance. Yes, we're in 2 different time zones, but this Cowboys game is going to be electric. It's going to be electric. And I think, so they play the game of the week, which is week 10 against their division rivals, the New York Giants. Depending on how the season goes, that can be a very physical game with the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys before they come to Carolina the week of Thanksgiving. I'm hoping our guy can sit there and help us with the early Thanksgiving gift, not Christmas gift, but early Thanksgiving gift. But this game right here, you got CeeDee Lamb, you have Dalvin Cook. What is his name? Brandon Cooks. You got Brandon Cooks. You do have Tony Pollard. Their defense is more scarier than their offense. Even when we had Sam Darnold, we were in the game, but we didn't play anybody that people said. But we also had Cam Irvin sitting there protecting Sam Darnold. And most of those pressures came from Cameron Irvin's side. If you look back at that game, shout out to Uncle Quan. Again, that man has that video when he came into Dallas with his family in that game. But if people want to go back and look, every sack, most of the sacks came from Cameron Irvin's side. And that particular team did lose to the Cowboys, but we didn't have the caliber players that we needed to sit there and compete. Yes, we were on a great start. Yes, people say we didn't play anybody, but the game was competitive still, even though we lost. Yes, like we just sat here and said that Miami game, this could be a game right here where Bryce might have to play a tough defense. Not saying any other defense that on the schedule where we're right here in week 11 or week 10 is not a competitive defense. We're talking about a defense that can really test this young man. I want to hear Uncle Quan got to say before I get my projection, and then I'll tell you guys where I got our record at, man. Let me see if he can persuade me to switch where I'm gonna say.
So, man, I know regardless, it's gonna be a fun game. Bank of America Stadium will be packed out. I think this is gonna be one of those games that's gonna be nearly sold out, if not sold out. Now, will it be majority Cowboy fans? Will it be majority Carolina fans? That's gonna be up to y'all. So if you are looking to go to this game, we gotta pack this out blue and black and blue, man. We got to, because like Doug already told y'all, well, they're everywhere. Cowboy fans are everywhere. Shout out to my pops, man. Shout out to my uncle. Hell, majority of my dad's side of the family, man, they Cowboy fans, man. So this is gonna be a fun game. I mean, just watching Cowboys and Panthers over the years is gonna be another fun game to watch. Hopefully, we come out on top. Now, yes, I agree. This defense, I think, is gonna be too much for Bryce. This defense actually scares me. It does. I'm not even gonna hold you. This defense scares me. I think Michael Parsons is gonna have another great year in contention for Defensive Player of the Year, and I think he's gonna show that in this game. He's gonna have multiple pressures. I think he has 2 sacks this game, but in the end, I think this could be another back and forth kind of game. Yes, we did have less talent the last time we saw them, and we were still in the game at the end. So I can see that being the same kind of outcome. I can see Bryce throwing 3 touchdowns in this game, but also having 2 interceptions. I think ultimately, come out, they lost. Dak Prescott coming in clutch again, showing you what he can do in the fourth quarter. But I think this would be a fun game. This would be a fun game. Definitely be a test for our offensive line and even our defensive line. It'll be a test for that side of the ball too, with all those new weapons added with Brandon Cooks. You got Tony Pollard, who's actually taking the reign of that running back position, man. I think he's gonna be showing out. He's gonna get more touches. Yeah, I think this ultimately comes out on Dallas' side. I hate to say that, I really do, but I hope I'm wrong, man.
Hey, I'm hope we both wrong, because that's what I was getting to. But with you speaking Tony Pollard, one other name I will drop. Watch out for Deuce Vaughn. I was very high on Deuce Vaughn. Shout out to, if people have not seen that moment of his dad calling him to let him know that he will be not joining him as a undrafted player, but as a draftee and being drafted by the Cowboys, that was a lovely moment. And I think Deuce Vaughn will play a role that Tony Pollard played behind Ezekiel Elliott. So definitely look out for that in that game. And I can't wait for that game as well, man. I'm hoping to be in the city. Like I said, you already can count me on one game. I will be there Monday night, week 2. This is another game that I am going to try to make. Might have family here when the Commanders and the Cowboys play. So like I said, logistics-wise, I'm planning on being in the building. But let's jump into the Tennessee Titans right after this game. Shout out to that young man. I ain't gonna say your name because we already know you're gonna spam the chat with Will Levis. Hopefully this man is sitting there playing whenever we do play, so we can see what Will Levis, whatever you want to call him, does. This game is on the road. Tennessee is a hard place to play. Whenever they're winning, just look at when Tennessee played Baltimore, and I think Baltimore beat them in Tennessee. It was packed out. They weren't expecting to lose. But this game right here, their coach is just like, this coach reminds me of the Detroit Lions coach. Very player-oriented, very physical, and loves the line of scrimmage. This is a line of scrimmage game right here. Yes, the Tennessee Titans did lose a couple of their offensive linemen, but with us losing, I don't think I've had us. No, I have. I would say this is our second back-to-back losing games, and this is where we're falling right at 500. Well, no, I'm sorry. Scratch that tape. I have us winning. Scratch that tape. I have us winning and being 6-4 right here. Bouncing back from that Cowboys game. Great win against an AFC opponent. Again, Bryce Young goes 1-0 against CJ Stroud, 2-0 against Anthony Richardson. Now he goes 3-0 against these quarterbacks in his draft class, showing the reason why he was the quarterback and deserving of the number one pick and being the number one quarterback drafted off that board. So going into that, we go 6-4. What you got, Uncle Quan?
I agree, man. I think this will be a game where we really open up that playbook. We start to show a lot of trickery in that playbook. We allow our skilled players to get off. You'll see Chenault have a really good game in this game specifically, man. I think he'll get off with a lot of scrimmage yards. Another bold prediction. I think we find a way to really shut down Derrick Henry. Last time we played Derrick Henry, we shut him down. And I think it's going to be the same result, even though it's a completely different team. Mm-hmm. I think we still find a way to shut down Derrick Henry, man. I don't think he'll have any more than 50 or 60 all-purpose yards. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a dub. I think this is going to be a dub on the road. I think this is going to be a beautiful victory for Carolina, a much-needed one late down the stretch in this season, man.
All right, so C-Dub got us at 6-4. Quan got us at 5-6. We're going to go ahead and show our thumbnail real quick so we can look at the schedule. This is where I don't like what the schedule makers did for the Carolina Panthers. We play 3 division opponents back to back to back, starting with Tampa Bay, the Saints on the road, then Atlanta comes to Carolina. This right here was a disservice to the Carolina Panthers. I don't like how the schedule makers thought that we should be able to play 3 division opponents back to back to back. We are, in my indications, 2-0 in the division. Uncle Quan does have us at 1-1. Playing Tampa Bay, we should have beat Tampa Bay last year whenever we played them. We know what happened with that. I do expect us to be 3-0. We get to play Mr. Baker Mayfield himself. The man that sat here is known as Mr. Batted Balls. I think Baker got discouraged once we did a coaching change. I don't think he believed in Steve Wilks. He gave up on our team. And I think a lot of those defensive players want to get payback. This team is younger. They still do have 2 weapons on the outside with Goodwin and Mike Evans, who abused our DBs where we didn't want to sit here and put hands on. I don't believe we'll have that problem this upcoming matchup right here. I do think we do jump to 7-4. I expect Miles Sanders to do exactly what Deontay Foreman was able to do until we stop running the ball on this defense. This is another 100-yard game right here for our running back. I do expect this is a bold prediction. I don't know if he'll do it before, but this is my bold prediction. Jonathan Mingo will have 100 yards. I will take this as a bold prediction right here. This young man has sat here and seen different DBs. Depends on how we line up. I also like the comparisons of people comparing him to a A.J. Brown and a mixture of a Deebo Samuels, because if that's the case, that the way we use him, then I would say a combined total yards of 100. He will have 100 yards this particular game right here, where it makes us 7-4. What you got, Quan?
2 words, man. Baker Mayfield. I don't have much to say to that. I mean, I think at this point in the season, the Bucs are tanking. They complete garbage. They're in the run for Caleb Williams or Drake May. I don't believe in Baker Mayfield. I just don't, man. My hopes were very high when we signed him. Mm-hmm. But it was just always something in me that was like, I mean, I don't know, man. Will he turn up? Will he be that prime Baker? No. Every time I watch this guy in person, he disappointed me. And I think it's going to be the same thing for Bucs fans. I think the Bucks will return back to the usual Bucks that I've been knowing since I've been growing up. There's always been of the Falcons and the Saints in our division. Whenever we played the Bucks, never had any worry in the world. Never worried about them until they got Tom Brady. Tom Brady is out of here. Now it's back to the regular Bucks with Baker Mayfield, man. So I think this is an easy dub. I mean, it's not really much to talk about here. This is a walk in the park, man. Again, they are in tank mode, so this is an easy dub for us.
So, Uncle Quan, you know what that makes you your record prediction at right now, right?
Yeah, where we at? 6 wins?
Yep. And then we 6-6. That makes 500 ball right now for this ball club.
Exactly.
I'm at 7-4.
Panthers moved to 500. Yes, sir.
Yep, we had 6-6. Uncle Quan 7-4 on my side. Then we play New Orleans Saints. I do think we split. I think right now, because again, this grueling 3 games I do not like and I don't appreciate. And I hope the NFL, I know Wassup Doug ain't up there, but hopefully somebody let the NFL know, don't do this again. This is playing for a rookie. I just don't understand it. 3 games back to back. And then you have, as a matter of fact, 2 on the road back to back, and then we come home. So I think Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara will be back. And reason why I said it, because I do think the young man will be suspended. Alvin Kamara is one of the best running backs, top 5 running backs, top 5 fantasy running backs when he's healthy. I don't trust their head coach, though. I thought this man would have been fired, but playing in NOLA and playing in Mercedes, well, it's Caesar's Palace, Caesar's Superdome now. That is a hard place to play at. Who Dat Nation is a hard fan base. That puts us at 7-5. It's nothing long. I just don't like the Bruins schedule with playing 3 divisional opponents. Again, puts us at 7-5. Point blank, we headed to Atlanta, playing Atlanta at home. What you got for Quan?
I agree, man. I think we do split with the Saints, and this will be a game that we lose. I think it'll be an extremely close game because at this point in the season, this is going to be an important game for both of us. I think the Saints are going to try to compete for that first spot in the NFC South, and we are also going to try to do that same thing. So I can see us battling the injury bug around this time of the year, and I think that's going to hurt us in this game. I really do. I hope I'm wrong. I do, but being realistic, around this time of the year, you do start to see a lot more injuries, and I think that'll hurt us in the end. I think Saints come out on top with this one, man. This is where we split with the Saints.
All right. Now we go into the Dirty Birds, man. They come back to the bank. We sweep the Atlanta Falcons. Get the broom out. We sweep them. I think being back at that bank, coming off that loss in NOLA, I think the fans will definitely be our support because this is where the playoff rush is going to be now. Depending on how our division's looking, we need every win, and we need everybody to come out and support this team. We need the bank rocking. We need the bank loud. I actually know the name is probably going to change because Bank of America is sitting there giving their rights up. So we need the bank to be jumping these last couple of games before Bank of America is no longer the name of the Carolina Panthers home. Come out, support the boys. We move to 8-5. Now you can smell the playoffs. It could be either a division or it can be a wild card, but we smell the playoffs with Bryce Young being in the lead in the doghouse of being Rookie of the Year. The home stretch. After this game with Atlanta, we have 3 more games. The final stretch, the final 3. Like the final 4, this is the final 4 right now. This game is a must-win. And I think we sit here and go to 8-5 and looking at a great position to make the playoffs.
I think this game right here specifically, especially late in the season with this being the last 4 games to go, we just come off a loss to the Saints. We're really trying to get this division win, this division title, and we're trying to get into the playoffs at this point. I think this is where we see the full display of our coaching staff and the combination of what they can do with this quarterback and with these skilled players. And I think our defense also turns up, man. This is where the Panthers really find their groove late in the stretch. The Panthers will seek revenge against Atlanta, especially at home. Another game I'm looking to be at, man. I just Falcons is just one of those teams I really don't like. So anytime I can see them play, I definitely want to pull up.
Did you
I
just
think
drop
Bryce
that
go
on me?
crazy.
Did you just drop
So
that on me? You ain't tell me about that one.
yeah, I don't like the Falcons, man. I got
No,
a
no, no. I'm
personal.
talking about that game. That's one of the
Oh
games that
yeah,
we
yeah,
gonna pull
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, you just dropped that
We
at
in the
one on me.
building.
I ain't
We
know
in the
nothing
building
about
for
that.
that game too,
All
man.
right, bet,
Just
bet, bet,
waiting
bet.
on the date at this point. Just waiting on the date.
Okay.
But I think this is a game that Bryce throws 300 plus yards, nearing 400. Man, I think he goes crazy in this
Okay.
game. Again, finding their groove in this offense and defense, clicking on all cylinders.
Okay. Okay. So I got you. So is that 7-7?
7-7, 7 even.
All right. 7-7. All right, we will show our schedule one more time. For the last three, you got Green Bay, you have Jacksonville Jaguars, and ending the season with Tampa Bay. This right here will be a win. I know I probably will not be at this game, but I will be close to a TV. This will be an early Christmas present from the Carolina Panthers to us fans. I don't like how people do not know Jordan Love got 5 primetime games. This man has not touched a ball. Yes, I know it's the historical Green Bay Packers, but you gave this young man 5 primetime games this year. And hopefully by this time, y'all can see that this man is not what you guys thought. I mean, yeah, the team might be doing well, but Jordan Love is not what you thought Aaron Rodgers was in his prime. This right here will make us 9-5. I think we will get after this young man. Again, Sir Purr would be in his Christmas outfit, giving gifts to the
Yeah,
kids, man. This game
yeah.
right here, early Christmas present. Christmas will be on that Monday. You can go ahead, drink your eggnog, watch the Grinch, watch, whatever Christmas movies you watch. Enjoy the family because we sat here and got a gift from the Carolina Panthers. That makes us 9-5, man. Short and sweet. I think Jordan Love is overrated. I do like Aaron Jones. I do like Dobbs. I do like their wide receiver crew. That defense is nasty. They do have Alexander on the back end. I still think they have is Rasheed Douglas. We did have him here in Carolina. He is a great nickel and outside boundary corner, but I'm going with the home team right here. That makes us 9-5.
Yeah, man. I agree with you, Doug. I don't believe in Jordan Love at all. In fact, I think he'll gift us with three interceptions for an early Christmas present in this game, man. I think by this time the Packers are going to be struggling. I just don't see us coming out losing to this team, especially before Christmas at home. This game is just all in our favor. It's all fingers are pointing to the Carolina Panthers in this game. I think we'll catch the Packers lacking in this game for an early Christmas present again. I mean, it's not really much to go off on this game, man. Shout out to Jair. He's a Charlotte native. Got a chance to play with him for the Beatty Sports Saints, man, a long time ago. I had to be like 8,
Wow.
9 or something like that, man. So yeah, man.
Wow.
Shout out to him. He's one of the best corners in the game, man. It's crazy watching him succeed in the league.
Yes, sir.
But I think this is a dub for us. This is a dub.
All right, we got 8-7. I'm probably about to sound a homer for the opposite team on this one. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. I told Uncle Quan I would love for us to be in Florida for New Year's Eve. We may be in the city, we may not be. But this game right here is going to be a loss. What Doug Peterson has done in year 1 was spectacular. To have Trevor Lawrence underneath Urban Meyer was a disaster. It was a dumpster fire. People were thinking Trevor Lawrence was not able to play in the league. Was he really translate his game from college to the pros? Then you have his teammate Travis Etienne to join him to go along with a player that's going to be a fantasy sneak. It's Calvin Ridley. Yes, he had a gambling problem, but Calvin Ridley was a monster with Atlanta, regardless of what quarterback he had. Calvin Ridley is going to be special to go along with the offensive weapons that they were able to sit there and display during the playoffs when they played Kansas City. They needed an outside weapon. They needed a speedster that helped them on the offensive side of the ball when they played Kansas City in the playoffs. Doug Peterson playing along his pal Frank Reich or going against his pal Frank Reich. This is a loss for us. It's not a bad loss because the Jacksonville Jaguars are ahead of what Frank Reich has right now. If we win this game, great. But in my book right now, I love what Jacksonville is going to be able to do. I think they are going to be a sneaky AFC team. I know everybody's jumping on Aaron Rodgers, but my sneaky AFC pick right now, not saying to win it all, but they have a chance and a dog-fighting chance, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. So for me right now, I lock this up as a loss, and that puts us at 9-6, headed to the season finale.
Now, just like you alluded to, Doug, this is definitely going to be one of those teams that's in the AFC are going to be competitors. Now, this is a game I have circled on my schedule as a wild card game because it's really going to depend on how good is Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. Now, if they're at 10 plus, wins by this time, maybe 11 plus, I don't see them going too hard for this game. I just don't. Maybe resting starters, I don't know. But this game could go either way. If they are, in playoff contention already, I think this game could work out in our favor. If not, if they are fighting for a playoff spot, so are we. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be one of those games that we ain't got no business winning, but we end up winning anyway because we are fighting for our spot in the playoffs. And I think we start off struggling early, especially against the Jags' weapons, man. Like you already alluded to, man, they got plenty of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. But I do think our offense will show grit. We're fighting for a playoff spot. We really need this game at this point in the season. And I think we stand the Jacksonville Jaguars in an upset win, giving us our 9th win on the season. Again, this could be a wild card toss up, man. This could be a toss up, could be a loss, but I'm gonna go ahead and give us the W on this
one. Okay, I'll say this. Uncle Quan had us at 8-7. I had us at 9-5 before this game. If both of these teams are at this particular record, do not be surprised if this is a flex primetime game in Jacksonville. It's New Year's Eve. This is where schedules do get flexed at times. I don't know with it being a New Year's Eve game that if schedules are set because of that particular date. But if it's not, and the records are looking like what we're thinking they're looking at, I would love for this to be another primetime game. And if it is, I have us losing. Uncle Quan has us winning. Now we close it out, loving that we close it out at the bank. This game is a seeding game for Carolina.
Yeah.
Baker's going to try to do everything he can to sit here and send us home or have us not host a wild card game. 10-6 looks wonderful. First year, 4 wins over. Scott Fitterer said when we traded up to Chicago to get number 1, he does not expect us to be drafted in the top 10 anymore for a couple of years right now. Injuries happen. You build a roster. He's the GM. 10-6. I thank David Temper for sitting there, not speaking. Yes, you had Nicole Temper in the room as well, but I appreciate everything he has done for the search of Frank Reich. I thank Scott Fitterer hiring Frank Reich to be our head coach. I thank Frank Reich for hiring in his staff. I thank Scott Fitterer for bringing these free agents in. Carolina Panthers will be crowned NFC South champs, division champs, and we will be hosting a playoff game. Thankful for the lows in the beginning of the year where we probably would not have been looking what we would be looking like. Thankful that we did our due diligence of having Bryce Young being the new future quarterback. Yes, we had the great Jake the Snake Delhomme, Cam Superman, Newton. Now we have Bryce Icy Young. Once you make that dance, anything can happen. I'm not going to promise anything, but for us to close out the season going 10-6, I give everybody in that front office a round of applause, a standing round of applause. If I can be in the city and the way the schedule's looking, I'll be there to sit there. And I know my mom's going to say, sit there. You said it again, Buster. But to sit there and have the crown be placed back in Carolina. What you got, Uncle Quan?
Now, looking at this game, this is one of those games. Again, I told you the Bucks are tanking. Now, we see this all the time. Teams turn up out of nowhere, especially that last game, in order to try to knock their divisional opponents out of the playoff contention or knock their seeding down. Right here, I do not see that being the case. I think the Panthers offense go crazy. I think we get into the playoffs. We finish with a 4-game winning streak in our last 4 games, finishing 4-2 in the division, man. I think we actually sealed the NFC South up, finishing 10-7 on the season. Possible 9-8, depending on how that Jaguars game go. Regardless, I see us going ahead and taking the NFC South because I don't see New Orleans taking this division at all, man. I think New Orleans falls short right behind us. And I think we will be hosting a playoff game in the bank as we was supposed to last year. I think this will make up for it, man, with an even better roster, better coaching staff. Slow start on the season, trying to figure out our footing with our rookie quarterback, with our defense. And this is going to be a team where they show you the motto, keep pounding, does indeed have an impact on this organization. And I think we finish out just strong, man. And I think we're going to head into the playoffs with full steam on this 4-game winning streak, being one of the hottest teams in the NFC to come into the playoffs, man.
And my mistake, people, I've wrote down my numbers twice. Our season, for full season, we went 11-6, and Uncle Quan had said 10-7. Either or, I would be happy with. We make the playoffs. The reign of Carolina Panther fans sitting looking at the TV, regardless if you can make it to the stadium or not, you're seeing your boys on the screen. Does this make Frank Reich Coach of the Year? Possible. Does this make Bryce Young Rookie of the Year? Possible. But we make the playoffs, people. We make the playoffs. And with the money that we have left over for cap, who wouldn't want to come to Carolina? We're already starting something new. We're starting a new regime. Those new 4 pillars, the GM, the coaches, the players, and the fans, like Frank Reich said in his introductory press conference. Tell me what you guys think. It's your man C. Dougie. We got Uncle Quan, man. I appreciate you, my guy. Like I said,
I appreciate you,
got some real intriguing things for our JPG gang and our family. We have a lot of giveaways here at Wassup Dub. This is giveaway week at Wassup Dub. I will keep it post and I'll let everybody know we are doing our jersey giveaway this week, and we are doing our Cash App giveaways this week as well. So stay tuned to Wassup Dub. Again, I just appreciate everybody for the prayers. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to my aunts, to my mom, to my cousins. I love you guys. Again, on my end, I appreciate all the support at Wassup Doug. I'm going to let Uncle Quan say a few words and we out of here.
Yes, sir. I really do think we catch our break, Panther Nation. This is going to be the beginning of a dynasty, as I alluded to in my draft video. I truly believe that. It's something strong in me that believes this is the beginning of a winning organization. We have not seen consistent winning seasons. Yes, we have won a division 3 years in a row, but even those division titles, like 2014 was we had a tie record, man. The season wasn't necessarily like a winning record. I think we will see consistent winning records. I think we'll be up there with the I don't want to say the Chiefs, man, but as far as winning, we're going to be that next threat in the league in the NFC. You're going to see Bryce Young emerge into an elite quarterback. Also, as Doug alluded to, people are going to want to come to Carolina after that. After seeing what this coaching staff is all about, after seeing what Bryce Young is all about, after seeing how our offense is, how our defense is, we're going to be able to pull in more free agents coming in the next offseason. And I think we'll continue to build on this momentum, and I think we'll continue to make the playoffs. I think we'll continue to run the NFC South for years to come. So with that being said, man, look forward to this season coming up, Panther Nation. I think it's our time. I really do. And also, I appreciate y'all pulling up to the channel. Make sure you guys have already hit that like button, especially if you made it to the end of the video by now. Go ahead and hit that like button for your boy. Hit that subscribe button here at What's Up Doug Nation, man. You also got, of course, my channel at the Panthers Experience, man. Pull up to the channel, show some love, and we appreciate that, man. We appreciate all the love that you guys show.
Yes, sir. One love, man. Everybody take care, and we'll see you next time.